Welcome everybody. I'm going to share my screen to tell you that it is Friday Night Comics, and we are here on Friday night on in the Eastern Hemisphere. No, I'm in the Western Hemisphere in the Eastern time zone. Who knows where you are, but we're glad you're here. And if it's Saturday, we're glad you're here. And if it's Friday afternoon, we're glad you're here. Friday morning, even, whatever. Uh, Let me see if my slides go forward. There we go. So this is the We Believe in Comics free Friday night workshops at the Sequential Artists Workshop. Um, we are a 501c3 nonprofit. SAW is how we refer to ourselves. You can find us at sawcomics.org. You can find our online courses at sawcomics.org. We have a few starting next week. We have three starting next week. Build Your Voice with Yasmin Abedfart. Rob Clow is teaching 4 weeks about thinking about your big project and getting it in front of publishers. Each week is a different sort of hour and a half lecture conversation about how to do that. And you can find that at sawcomics.org. Next week in this slot, we have Sunmi, and they are going to come on, and I'm not sure what they're going to do, but their art's super cool. Also next week, starting Tuesday, visual journaling with Maureen Burdock. And Maureen is also super cool. Everybody's super cool. Yasmin, super cool. Rob, super cool. All right. And if you haven't signed up for the Graphic Medicine Summit, take a look at our website. It is happening July 18th, 19th, and 20th, and it is a whole bunch of Zoom calls, workshops, what do I want to say, comics readings and panel talks, all on graphic medicine, because there's no official graphic medicine conference this year. So we organized, with their help, a summit of getting everybody together online. So that's also at the Saw Comics website. There's a little bit of a look at that, but you don't need that right now. I want to thank everybody who donated either today or any other time you've donated. It helps Saw not become a one-way bank like Popeye has got there. Um, it helps pay for scholarships and it helps keep these events free. It helps us also pay the instructors and all sorts of things. So thank you so much. Okay, we're ready to get started. We like to say no inappropriate speech or imagery. Please keep the sharing at PG-13. And share also at on social media. Hashtag Friday Night Comics at Comics Workshop is our hashtag. And Elise's, I'll put that in the chat. It's DJ. See, I always forget how to pronounce it.
Sereia.
Huh?
Sereia.
There we go. All right.
It means mermaid in Portuguese.
Oh, nice. Okay. And I'll put that in the chat. Members.sawcomics.org. You can also join us there. Let's watch the time. We like to keep these at no longer than 90 minutes to respect the instructor's time, everybody else's time. It's also the summer solstice, or it was. Let's, get outside and play. But there are lots of ways to share, and we'll put those in the chat, including joining our PDFs, which we do every week, and we put it on seesawcomics.org, and you can join that, and it looks like this, and they just are fun, sort of thrown together PDFs of everybody's work. So enjoy. Oh my gosh. Elise, Carnival Comics. Tell us about that as soon as I can figure out how to stop sharing. And I love that drawing too. Um, Elise, welcome. I can't believe you haven't done one of these. You haven't?
No.
What the heck? Oh,
Well, I wasn't invited.
I knew somebody was going to say that someday. Um, I know, yeah, and the invitation is implicit, but you're right. Sometimes it needs to be explicit. I'm going to spotlight you, and so that means you're going to get big on everybody's screen. And I'm here to do whatever you need. I'll be in the chat summarizing stuff you say because sometimes people like things spelled out and go back in the chat and find it. But otherwise, I'm here to help. And to answer your question before, oh, you just started sharing. There you go. See, on
Okay, but
TikTok.
hopefully you can just see my regular screen. I'm going to put it on. Uh, it's doing this thing where it does the presenter tools or whatever.
Right. It looks good to us. I see only the image on a white background.
Okay, and the zoom is right. Like I was worried about not being able to see people, but I can see at least the first four people.
Yeah, I'm going to raise my Zoom hand actually, and I'll be one of those.
Okay. And then I have this thing about where I'm drawing. This is my phone. It's not, it's a little lo-fi here as far as these things go.
Yeah, I
I
can
don't
see.
know.
I
Is
can
this
set
the
that up
way that
later. It looks okay now.
okay. All right, I'll just leave it there for now.
Okay.
And then when I'm actually drawing, I can raise that hand too, maybe.
Uh,
Okay.
I can spotlight it.
Okay, awesome. Hi everybody. This is my first time doing Friday Night Comics. Very exciting. I have been involved in Saw for a really long time in a lot of different ways. I like pretty much my whole comics career, I think since like 2017. And so I'm really excited to be here. Let's see. And this is tonight we're doing Carnival Comics. And I must tell you that this was not my initial idea. I was going to do something. I'm sort of filling in for somebody who wasn't able to make it. So I have prepared this very quickly. And I thought that I was going to do something that was like closer to my work. Turns out Carnival Comics is not really close to my work at all. But when I was, given this prompt, I said, sure, why not? Let's run with it. And the reason that it seemed particularly poignant for me is that across the street from my house, there is a traveling carnival set up as we speak. And it happens this time every year. 4th of July in my town is a really big deal. I'm in Bristol, Rhode Island. And this drawing of the Ferris wheel is actually a drawing I did last year from the Ferris wheel. But the same Ferris wheel is outside right now, and I had to close the windows because it was so loud. So anyway, so we're gonna work with this. I'm not a specialist in Carnival comics, but I think that's okay. I don't know if there is one out there,
No,
but
I know.
anyway. Okay. Let me see. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Hi, I'm Elise Dietrich, and I'm a cartoonist. I've been making autobio comics since 2016. I have done a lot of different things in my life. And I came to this later. I'm not that old, but I've already had a bunch of different careers. Um, I started making autobio comics and comics in general when I met Summer Pierre at the place that I was working um, at West Point, and she encouraged me to give it a try. I have a background in art, but it was the first time I thought that, comics was something that I could do myself. And since then, I've made a bunch of different things. I've lived a lot of places. So up here, you can see my little badges. I've got New Hampshire, New York, New Orleans, Colorado, Rhode Island, and I didn't even put Brazil in there. But I've been a lot of different places and sort of floated around trying to find my forever place still. I'm a former academic and I have ADHD. I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was a teenager. And the older I get, the more I realize like what an important part of my personality and my comics process that is, because it allows me to really hyper focus and sort of drill down on certain topics, which is wonderful. It's also causes me a lot of struggle, and I spend a lot of time trying to figure out how I can work with that. Um, and generally, when I'm working at SAW, I end up giving up people a lot of advice that is sort of related to ADHD and the comics process. The other thing I've been doing lately is the Providence Drink and Draw. And I'm doing it together with Tom. It was a sort of our thing that we came up with. And I moved to Rhode Island. I didn't see many drink and draw or any like cartoonist events. Now I'm seeing that there are a couple, but they were hidden to me. So we started this thing and we do it once a month and we just get together and we draw in this very hip cafe bar bookstore.
Book.
Um, yeah, but the good thing about that is that it has gotten me to like create a ton of prompts that are timed that I do with strangers. So in that way, I think I might be better prepared than some to take on Friday Night Comics. Although we really target drawing, not comics, right? Because it's just a bunch of strangers who show up, and so you never know what you're going to get. Isn't that right, Tom?
Yeah, but you really get them motivated.
Yeah, it helps to have a microphone, and it also helps to have a plan, like a written out plan. That's what I figured out. So anyway, I all of my comics are autobiographical. So I've done a mixture of diary comics, memoir, travelogue, and like a few like kind of short, almost essay comics. But the big projects that I've been working on in recent years is something called Kill Your Idols, which is about looking at my teen music idols from middle age. And I put out this the first part of the story last year, and I'm hoping I'll put out the second part this year. We'll see. Time will tell. Um, And then also a project that I call Grandes Expectativas, which is about my time traveling in Brazil when I was in my 20s. And this issue is called How Brazil Can Be, but it's sort of a wide-ranging long-term project that I've been working on for, I don't know, 6 years or something like that. So that is me in a nutshell. And I'm here to tell you that it's carnival time.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is a photo of the carnival that's across the street from me, but it once again it's from last year. I have not gone up on the Ferris wheel yet this year, but this is what it looks like looking down on all of the different things. Um, and the carnival rolls into my town, 2 weeks before 4th of July and is here every day. And I live kind of over in that corner. So this is very close to my house. It's sort of the soundtrack to all of our activities between 5 and 10 p.m. Every day for those 2 weeks. And I've actually been thinking about it a lot because I haven't really gone on any of the rides yet this year, but my daughter has. I have an almost 11-year-old daughter. And it kind of creates like a kind of a grinding anxiety for me, I think, like because you just hear it out the
The
window at
sound
all
alone?
times. Yeah, it's the sound, right? It's
Oh.
like lots of like and like like the gun sounds that go with the midway games and just like the generators and then a lot of screaming. There's a lot of screaming and there's usually a lot of little kids walking by my window where I have my studio, crying about whatever they didn't get or that they want to go home or they don't want to go home. And the first one of those tonight started at about 6:15. So that was 1 hour and 15 minutes after the carnival had started. So
I had an
think of
okay time
those.
for a little while.
Yeah, yeah. But that tends to happen more and more as the night goes on. And then by the end of the night, it's all teenagers. So anyway, it's been a really interesting experience to have this like right outside of my doorway. So I figured why not harness it and turn it into a comic? I generally have a positive association with carnivals. I always liked going on rides. And yeah, let's explore it tonight. Okay, so to start, I know that this word carnival has a bunch of different connotations, and especially if there's anyone who's joining us internationally, you might think that it's something different. So, when you say carnival, since I've spent a lot of time in Brazil, the first thing I think is like Carnival, right? Like the pre-Lenten festival with parades and music and dancing and all this stuff that's at a specific time of year. But what I was really thinking about, because of this thing that's going on outside, is the traditional American traveling carnival. Okay. So, of course, you can work on whatever you want. If you want to make a comic about Brazilian carnival or about Mardi Gras or, any pre-Lenten celebration, you're of course welcome to do that. But this is what sort of came to mind for me immediately, and it's because of the season and the time of year. So my question for you is, what comes to mind when you think of a carnival?
Mm.
And I would like for you to put your answers in the chat. Okay?
Oh, great. Okay, I'll put that in the chat. What comes to mind when you think of carnival? When you think of a carnival? When you think,
hmm
okay.
And I did put one image there, so there's
All
there's
right.
there are a couple of ideas, but just
Barney, clowns, ring toss, bakers, scary rides, the zipper, fried dough,
oh,
carnies, freak show, funnel cake, 18 wheelers and dirty clothes. The game where you have to squirt water in the clown's mouth. That's my favorite, Gail. I feel like that's the only thing I ever got good at in my life. Smells, watermelon. The one ride that rotates so fast it sticks you to the wall. Yeah, I never know what they call it. I feel like some names get traded around. Like there's probably a couple games or a couple rides called the Twister, or a couple called the Widowmaker or something like that. Anyway, there's a lot going on. The Gravitron. Oh, okay. So Sarah cases it's taffy and saltwater. Circus versus carnival. Yeah, what is the big difference? More performers at a circus, I guess, right?
Yeah, and like a tent, right? Um,
Mm.
Circus is also traveling, right? Which I think is an important part of these kinds of American carnivals, right? Is that they don't, it's not an amusement park. It's like it
Eli,
shows up for a little while and then it goes away, it goes somewhere else,
Eli
right?
says circus doesn't have rides. I guess that's true. How weird.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're pretty different.
I mean,
Smaller.
they're kind of adjacent, right?
We definitely got a couple answers for the centrifugal force ride.
There's a bunch of different centrifugal force rides, in fact, I think.
Oh, that's true.
Right there's the one where you stand up straight and like everybody's around in a circle, like standing like this, right? And then
Right.
they take the floor away.
Right.
But then what about
What I'm
the
thinking.
scrambler or the sizzler? You know, the one where it's like spins around in the little cars and then they spin around.
Yeah, but that's not like changing reality through centrifugal force. It's just kind of intense, right? Where like the
Yeah,
floor dropping out is changing reality. All right.
it's
How long
true.
are how long are we doing this chat bit for?
Okay, I think we're ready. I think we're
Okay,
ready.
okay.
I will, you guys can keep putting things in the chat. There's no reason that you have to stop doing that. Okay. Oh, I'm glad that you guys are thinking of stuff, because this is excellent. So I just put together a couple of images just in case people were stuck and they were like, what is a carnival? I put together a couple of images. And the first thing that comes to my mind is rides, right? So some of these, like the two pictures on the left, are from my actual outside carnival. The other one is just one I stole from the internet, right? But usually Ferris wheel, right? These bright colors, everything is sort of rainbow colors, but particularly red, yellow, green, and blue, right? And then these little round lights on everything, right? I think that's an important part of it. The
Huh.
fun slide, right? And then another important part, I think, is food, right? Like there's very particular kinds of food that we eat at carnivals, right? And it's these like carts that just like roll up, and then they produce this food that is pretty much all snacks, right? I mean, I guess you can get pizza or probably hamburgers or hot dogs, right? But like most of it is just like weird snacks, like funnel cakes and elephant ears and these like all the fried stuff that they are particularly like at state fairs, right? The different kinds of drinks, right? And I love the aesthetic of these pictures because it's just like it's so much, right? It's like such sensory overload, right? Like it's like not just one sign that says lemonade, but one, two, three, four, five, six, seven signs that say lemonade all facing like in the same direction. So it's sort of like overkill, right? Which I find really fascinating.
Yeah, look at all those
Somebody's at
clowns.
Yeah, somebody's
Remember?
asking if I'm in East Providence. I'm not. I'm in Bristol,
No,
Rhode
I was
Island.
asking Julia because Julia
Oh,
is mentioning East Providence. Yeah.
cool. Okay, and then the last thing for me, at least, is these games. None of these are my pictures. I didn't really get any good pictures of games, but like I found these and I was like, oh yeah, right? And like the prizes that you win with the games. I've never been good at these, but my husband is excellent at them. And so it's funny because now like if there's some prize you see that you want, my husband will say, what do you want? I'll go win it, right?
Really?
And he's really into it because I think he's really into sort of like the odds and figuring out the system of how it works, and then he's persistent.
Oh, wow.
So we've gotten a couple of these like funny looking stuffies in our house before, like the blow up crayon that's very popular
Huh.
around here. So yeah, or the one thing that I didn't have is the strong man, like the, what do you call that? Where you hammer,
I don't know.
use
The
the big hammer.
strongman, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Walter, I said blow up crayons. It's
Yeah.
like this, I think it's just like a cheap thing that they can make. So it's like a big Crayola crayon that's like they blow it up. It's like a balloon, like a floaty kind of crayon. Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds like we got a lot to work with. I'm not worried about anybody's idea generation. So let's warm up. Okay. Let's start with a little bit of drawing. This should just be like loose and easy, no pressure. You're not creating a comic. You don't, you're just having having fun here. Okay. So let's do 2 minutes each of
Okay.
these. I'm gonna, just show, I'll let you know when we're moving on to the next one. Tom, can you do the timing?
Oh yeah, you know what? I will put it on my screen.
Okay.
I'm gonna raise my Zoom hand so I'll be high up in the grid.
Because I've found that I cannot time and draw.
I have a
That's
timer.
what
Yeah,
okay.
okay, no problem. Zoomer's got a
I that's
zoomer.
that's what drink and draw taught me is that drinking
Uh,
I can't do both.
so I have a timer app. It comes with Zoom, and it'll be in my window, but I'll also mention it when we're at 1 minute and when we're at 20 seconds.
Sweet.
Okay.
Okay. So our first theme for 2 minutes is we are going to draw rides.
Okay.
They do not need to be complicated. Draw as many rides as you can in 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Wow.
And I guess I should raise the hand on my,
Yeah, if you can.
or do I do spotlight or do I pin?
No, raise your Zoom hand.
I don't know how to do. Well, I'm gonna have
Don't
to
worry
do.
about it. Just do the
Okay.
drawing.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, for your own.
Yeah, for the my phone.
Oh, I can spotlight it, but it's not going to change too much when we have the drawing up. Um,
Okay.
I mean the slide up. Drawing rides this fast, I find myself making up rides. It's like, what the
That's
heck?
okay.
What is this
It
weird
doesn't.
ride?
It doesn't have to be a real one. It could be really anything that you want. It's a lot of it, I think, are going to be like a series of like boxes.
It's like the flying jet ski.
Yep.
All right, we're at 1 minute. 1 minute.
1 minute. Oh no. Okay, I've got two rides so far. I have a Ferris wheel and I have a scrambler kind of thing. And then what about the one where there's all those swings?
Um,
Then
oh,
they like go
the
up
ones,
in the air.
yeah, that's a good centrifugal force one too,
It
right?
looks really scary, but usually when you're in it, it's not. It's like you're
30
flying or
seconds.
something.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
boy. And then how about some, I don't know, bumper cars?
Oh, yeah, bumper cars with the weird electrical big like uh coat hook on it
Hmm.
at the back, keeping everything charged. 10 seconds.
They look like shoes almost when you try and draw them. Weird. Like little bumpers. Okay. All
Put this.
right.
Oh, that's the timer. You hear it?
It's like we're in a movie or something. Okay. Great. All right. How'd that go?
Yeah, you can put it in the chat. It's fun for me.
So I don't know if you guys can see it. It looks like I'm pinned, but I you can see my very basic rides here. But maybe you can recognize what they are. I've got a Ferris wheel. I've got my scrambler. I guess I can write that there, right? And then I've got I don't know what the swing ride is called. The one that is here is called the Vertigo. But like I feel like the Vertigo could be almost any ride. And then here this is bumper cars.
Hey, Elise, I'm going to stop your screen share just for a minute, and that'll make your drawing bigger. And then I can put in the chat what the
Awesome.
second and third thing is.
Okay.
So, and that, so that should have done it. Um, so you're big on my screen. I see the Scrambler and the Vertigo. The Vertigo, is that what it's called?
The one that's across the street from me is called that. I'm
Oh,
sure there
wow.
are different names. Like because they, like you kind of make up any name that you want for these things, right? So, and here is Ferris wheel. Some of them are probably like trademarked. Um, I did learn that the first Ferris wheel was at the Chicago World's Fair, which was like in the 19th century. It was like 18 something something.
1890 something. Well, actually, there might be been more. Might have been a
Oh,
couple.
let's see. Did I write it down? Yes, 1893, Chicago World's Fair was the original Ferris wheel.
Gail says the swing ride is just called the swings.
The swings. Good. I'm glad you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Um, awesome.
All right, what's
Jen says speaker view now shows Elise's drawing spotlit. Okay, so I guess that's good, right? So you could put, if you wanted to see my drawings, you could do that. Speaker review. Okay. Should we go back to, should I share again, Tom?
No, you can just tell us what the next one is, right? Because it was
Okay. So the next one is, I have to look because I won't remember. We did rides. Next one is food. Food at a carnival.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Okay, and you'll have to look for my screen, everybody, for that 2 minutes. But there it goes. But I'll also announce it.
Okay. Are we ready to go?
Food, yeah, starting. Extra points for people who draw like the dumpsters behind the food sellers. Oh my God. Do you have seagulls in your carnival, Elise? Are you close enough? You must be.
Yeah, but there's like so many people that I don't know. I think the seagulls might be scared off.
Mm.
Because there's just like really a lot of activity. Um, and it's busy. I don't know. The seagulls would prefer to be down like by the water, I think. How much time, Tom?
Good question. 1 minute exactly.
Oh, wow. Okay. Food is so much easier to draw than rides.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we should, if we do this again, we should start with the food, start with the easy ones. Pizza. The pizza just feels like a gimme because I mean, there's so many contexts in which you can draw pizza.
Just
Could
make
also,
a soft triangle.
yeah, I've drawn a lot of pizza. Pretty easy to make it in a cartoony kind of style.
20 seconds.
Oh boy. Oh, and I didn't draw my favorite thing, which is the caramel apple.
Oh yeah.
That's like
Well,
the only thing I really like
we're gonna
at
get your movie
carnivals.
music in a minute. 5 seconds. Oh.
Oh, it's like the preview or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope that was okay for everybody. You can see I drew popcorn. I feel like this striped container is really important, although that's probably not what it actually looks like when you get it at the carnival. A lemonade, a big soft pretzel, a piece of pizza, a snow cone, and a caramel apple down here.
Oh.
So this one was easy for me. I don't know about you. So I was able to do six foods, whereas when I was doing rides, I could only do four, and they were really pretty basic. Oh, corn dogs. Let's see. How would you draw a corn dog? It's kind of like it's just like on a stick,
Yeah.
right? It's like
Yeah.
food on a stick. I mean, that's a corn dog, right?
Yeah. And
And
a
then
little
you could
extra.
put like mustard like this, right? Like, and then oh, you could put a little bite out of it. They're always really hot. Like there's your corn dog, like that. I don't know. That seems like you would know
Give us a
what that
really
was.
give us a really fast cotton candy, and then we'll move to
Oh,
the.
cotton candy. I man, what does that even look like? Okay, cotton candy, I would say it's just sort of like a cloud on a skinny stick, right? Like that. They're on this like a
Oh
little
yeah.
paper cone.
Yeah.
And I think for me that's really different from ice cream because ice cream would be like a bigger cone like that, right? This looks like a tree kind of, but anyway. In this context, you know what it is. It's a cotton candy cone. Okay, so we're gonna do one more now, and you might be able to guess what it's gonna be.
I can't guess. Kids? Poop? What? What is it? Stuff on the ground. Oh,
Games.
games. Right.
Games. So just keep it fast and loose, whatever comes to your mind. I can already tell this one's gonna be hard for me.
All
So, but here we
right.
go, right, Tom?
Yep. Starting that timer. There it goes. 2 minutes.
Okay.
Games. Just gonna draw. I feel like half of the games is the signs.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, well, you can draw the signs.
yeah. Well, that'd take too
Why
long.
not?
And all the stuffed animals hanging at the games.
Yeah.
And the tiny signs that say how many actual wins it takes to get the good prize. And
Mm.
like next to the teeny tiny, like a whistle that you get for winning, or whatever.
Hmm. Yeah.
All right.
What about like a ring toss
Oh, yeah.
where you like, I guess you just put it um on the bottle, right? Like you throw the rings and you get them on the bottle. Um, so it's like a yeah. What else? There's like darts, usually like darts and you hit the balloons. So it's like a row of balloons.
50 seconds, everybody. 50
Oh
seconds.
boy, I knew it was going to be hard.
Yeah.
Darts. This looks like I don't know, whatever. Darts. Isn't there that one where there's like you shoot the ducks? They
Oh,
like they're like mechanical ducks that like go in a little row
yeah. There's
and then they
the,
give you a gun and you have to like shoot them. I feel like that is one of the
yeah.
things. Or there's like a horse race kind of thing where it's like automated.
Yeah. What's the deal with that? It's like how fast you hit like a couple buttons or
Yeah.
something. I forget.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to shoot a gun and then
Whoops.
it like makes it move faster or something. Okay. So for me, this one was the bomb. I could tell as soon as I started thinking about what am I actually going to draw, and I was like, I don't know.
What's that amazing face? That face is.
This is supposed to be okay. So I clearly we're lacking some detail here, so you would know what it
Oh, that's
was,
the
but it
shoot the
should
water
be
and the
the
clown thing.
clown.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like it could be like a ball where you like throw the ball and you have to get it into the mouth or whatever. It's almost like a combo of skee ball and um the clown or whatever, right? So that was my idea.
Fun.
And then this is sort of like I would guess I would say ring toss. And then you could totally make like a bunch of signs. The signs really are the most charming part. Um, I don't know, shoot the balloon. I'm gonna have to go out there and study the games, clearly. This is the part I've been spending the least time on. Um,
You haven't been to
here.
Coney Island, have you, Elise?
I have years ago, yeah.
They have shoot the freak. And
Ooh, really?
they
That can't
dress
be
up a
real.
teenager and basically head to toe in something that can get shot with paint guns, and you just shoot them. It's a really
Oh
ridiculous.
man,
Yeah.
that's terrible. So the last time I went to Coney Island, I was in college. And I remember I was reading that book at the time, or I was a big fan of the book at the time, Geek Love. Did you ever
Yeah.
read that?
Hmm.
It's a novel. And I remember I was so excited to go to Coney Island because I was like, that's where they have like the freak show. And we went to the freak show, and it was like mostly like a video of old freak shows. This would have been in like
I
2000. And it was up on the wall. They didn't have fancy TVs or anything. So it was like up on the wall on a tiny TV on like a VCR, and they like played the video of like old timey freak shows that they don't have anymore. And then there was a room where there was like stuff in jars.
have
And
a,
that's what it was.
I have a really good story about that, and I'll tell you later, or
Okay.
I don't want to waste drawing time with it, but
Some other time.
yeah.
Sounds good. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go back now to the um the slideshow, I think, because then I have our drawing assignment or our comics assignment.
Sure, go ahead. Uh-huh.
Okay. Um, so let's see. Now, it turns out I do have to share first and then turn it on because otherwise I can't see it. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
Desktop to share.
Yeah.
Okay. And then okay. So We already did this. I'm
Yep.
just moving through it. Okay, so let's make a four-panel comic. All right. Um, about Carnival. There really are no rules here. I hope that because you've already done all this generating of ideas and the ideas were really flowing, that maybe you'll have some kind of a memory that's just kind of sitting right on top and you can grab it. Um,
Mm.
so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to brainstorm about what we want our idea for our comic to be. I was talking to Tom about this before, and he said, "Oh, 4 minutes a panel," but I was just relating that that's not how I make comics. I like think about the idea, and then I do, I plan it out. I like brainstorm, and then I do the kind of story and planning, and then finally I draw it. So like if I were to go panel to panel, like it gives me tremendous anxiety because I have no idea what's coming next. I have to like think about the whole thing and then draw. So that is what I'm trying to channel here. I hope that's okay with everybody.
Yeah.
So for 3 minutes, we're going to brainstorm um, things about Carnival, particularly memories. So, since I mostly do autobio work, this is the greatest sort of cache of material that I have is my own memories. And it's usually the first thing that comes to my mind is usually the best one. Sometimes, you can think of a couple ideas and then decide between all of them. So, I want you to spend 3 minutes, just take a piece of paper. And you can just vomit out onto the page. You can do words, you can do images, whatever comes naturally to you. Just work quickly and don't grab anything too tightly just yet. So think about rides, food, games, and maybe sensory memories. I feel like that's a really big part of Carnival
Yeah.
experiences is, what did you see? What did you hear? And you feel and you smell, right? And so maybe one of those things, if I like to think of this as almost like you're sort of shaking the tree, taking the idea memory tree, and whatever
Nice.
falls first, like just go grab that. And we're going to use that to make our comic. Okay.
Yep.
So do you want to set a timer, Tom, for three
You bet.
minutes?
Yep.
Okay.
It'll be on my face and I'll tell people when it's, yep, starting.
Okay.
Shaking the memory tree. I could tell you the story about the freak show now.
Okay.
Is that, I don't
Sure.
want to, okay. All right. So here's the deal. I'll try it and make it fast. 2 minutes, 20 left. So around the same time, maybe a few years later, I had some friends from France come in, a mother and her two kids, and we took them to Coney Island. We were like, "Oh, we're going to take you to Coney Island. It's really great." And and uh and we went to the freak show. And I was like, "This is really going to be really great." We had the same experience you did. 2 minutes, y'all. And we were like, "This is just like boring. There's some like films and some things in a jar. What's going on?" And then we heard, "Oh, there's going to be a flea circus." All right. Well, so me and the mom and the two kids, we settle in for the flea circus. And the flea circus is the worst thing in the world. Is a woman up on a stage in this fake European, Eastern European accent, talking about things we can't see, and 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 I was so angry. And my French friend is like, "What is she saying?" Because she's making these really really bad puns, and I'm like, "You don't want to know. It's not a big deal. We'll just sit through this and get out of here." And anyway, and I was just so mad. And it takes a lot to make me rant for a long time, but I just ranted on the whole way back. Oh my God, and oh the blah blah blah. So that's part one of the story. Part two, this I was in New York City when I was living in New York City. Part two is I'm living in Gainesville, Florida. 1 minute left, y'all. And
Oh boy.
I'm living in Gainesville, Florida, and my friend Margaret's New Year's Eve party. And um and I meet somebody, and Margaret says, "Oh yeah, Lynn used to we were talking about the circus. Lynn used to work at the circus. In fact, she used to be a trapeze artist, and she actually did she helped one of these really famous pop stars get into their trapeze during the concerts and stuff. And then she says, "Yeah, now I just, sometimes I could do Coney Island, and now I just, and um I do this flea circus bit." And I just, in horror, I said, "Oh my God, I said, I hated your show. It was so bad."
Oh no.
And I was like, I was so angry. It made me so miserable. It was the first time I ever just like, I have to tell this person how I feel about their artwork. And
And how bad it is.
yeah, time's up,
Oh
y'all.
no.
But the thing is, um, so that's our brainstorming. So to finalize that though, Lynn and I, by after about an hour, were really good friends. It was all good. I adore her. She's super amazing and has a long experience in the circus that's just so admirable and interesting. And she's a great woman. And yeah, all right. The flea circus bit's a little
Did
old.
she take it personally?
No, no, we really talked it out, and she was like, I mean, I told her what I thought aesthetically was really bothersome about it, but I also was very clear. I wanted the freak show, and I got this. Ugh.
I mean, they can't do it anymore, right? It's not, I mean, it's terrible, right? Like
I don't
it's really
know.
not, it's not
Somebody was
appropriate
well,
anymore,
even
right?
even sword swallowers would have been better or something, but
Yeah, it sounded like you needed to go to Lollapalooza in the 90s.
but I really
So,
adore Lynn. She's one of my favorite people. I just can't believe that friendship started that way. Um,
yeah,
all right.
that's hilarious. Okay, so brainstorming should be done. Hopefully, your shake of the memory tree turned up something good, or at least, good enough. Let's focus on that because that's the most important thing. That's how you get the comics made. It's not waiting for the perfect idea. It is, just picking up the idea that seems best in that moment and running with it, and then putting the time in, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next step is we are going to work on our story. So for this, we're going to do 5 minutes. And as I said, I don't usually work panel to panel. I have to like think about the whole story. I have to, kind of think about the sequence. So one way that you can do this is you can sort of think about, choose the memory, just the one that has the most heat for you. Or maybe it's the first one, maybe it's the last one. And once you thought of that one, you said, oh, that's the one. So just drill down on that, okay? And you're going to break it into 4 parts or beats, okay? So think about how you would tell this as a story to a friend, or, if you were Tom, how you would tell the flea circus story. Are you going to make that into the comic?
I'm
That
gonna
would be
have to.
good. You've
I,
already like
I
told it a
wasn't doing
couple times.
anything else except telling that story during that
Yeah, there you
time.
go. That was your brainstorming. You
Yeah.
already did it. So you're going to break it into 4 parts, like 4 central parts, and those are going to um, be hopefully within your panels. If you want, you can start working on a comics page now. Usually with a 4 panel. I'm actually, let's see, I had a notebook here. I was looking at. I used to do diary comics. Can you see my little
No,
screen,
but you know
Tom?
what? Here, in order to do that, I'm gonna stop your screen share, but I just
Yep.
put all of that stuff in the chat just a moment ago. So just give
Great.
me a second.
Perfect.
Um, yeah, now we can. Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
Can you
Right,
see it?
yeah, right before the pandemic, no less. What is it?
Yeah, yeah. So this is, I guess I could just read through it. Let's see. This is sort of my diary comic notebook, or one of them, where I would just take this and, for a while I was just kind of like trying to make a couple diary comics a week. I didn't really, I kind of, I don't know, faded in and out when I was using this notebook. So you can see that I was like, yeah, well, every couple of weeks. And then I was like, how about one a month? But I still made them, so that's pretty good. These were mostly, they just appeared on Instagram. That was kind of my thing. Um, and most of them are just 4 panel, just because that's kind of like the easiest thing for me. It's just kind of natural, and just doing 4 panels is like relatively, it feels simple to me. Like you can't do too much. So, and some of them I didn't finish. This blue line here, and I never drew it. So I get a lot of that. and then I kind of stopped doing it. So anyway, this is a comic about when my daughter broke her arm, and it was before the pandemic. So like, man, I I didn't know what was like right around the corner. Like none of us did, right? So anyway, this is about her breaking her arm in the monkey bars. So it was just, this is rather dense. I certainly wouldn't expect you to do this in this amount of time that we have here. But, just to give you an idea, you can make all of your panels square like this if you want. This was the way that you used to have to do it with Instagram. Now Instagram, like I can't even keep up. And I also don't really post my work on Instagram anymore because AI it burned me, but this is a way that you could potentially do it if you wanted. um this is another one about breaking the arm. It's like a whole saga. And then I think that was it, and I didn't draw another one because I was working on my other projects. So anyway, but you should start in your paper. If you would like, you can make your panel outlines if that would help you, right? Sometimes, like if you're working on a sketchbook, like what I would always do is I would make my little notes over here, and then over here I would draw it. So I would say work between this side with the panel borders that you will eventually make or that you're going to make right now, and then on this side you can just use it for notes and stuff.
Notes and planning. What an idea. Um,
I mean,
which
otherwise I'm like lost. Anyway, but maybe you don't need to do that. Maybe you can just do one panel at a time, and more power to you. No problem. Um, I see someone asking what pen or ink I'm using for inking. I would just use like random brush pens that I would get. I like to shop a lot at Jet Pens, so I get their like selection of pens, and then
I
the
started the timer.
microns. Okay, time.
I started the
Uh,
timer.
oh, okay, great. How much time do we have left?
4 minutes, 45 seconds.
Okay, great. You just started it. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're doing now is you're thinking about what memory stood out to you. Maybe you can do a little bit more detail if you don't feel like you have enough to work with, and then break it into four parts or beats. And don't forget to include the sensory memories, because I think that that is important. I often like, because I get a little just kind of nervous about the page, I will often start with um, I like to use a blue pencil, a non-photo blue pencil, and I have this kind that I really like, which are these Karan Dash. These are my favorite. Show you these ones.
Oh,
They're just sort of like softer. They just have a nicer texture for me. The other ones, like the Prismacolor ones, feel like very kind of hard and dry. So I started using these, and these are the only ones I like to use. Now I mostly am making my comics on in Procreate, but it's good to do some analog work every once in a while, I think. So I've decided, Tom, should I talk through what I'm doing or no?
it's up to you on how comfortable you are with it.
So I'm gonna use I have this memory of going on the Scrambler. Um, and I think I was with my brother. I can't remember, but I
3 minutes left, though.
uh, maybe I can't do both at once. I'm
Yeah, just
sorry.
draw. It's okay.
Yeah. How much time, Tom?
1 minute, 45 seconds.
Oh,
Going fast, isn't it?
yeah. And then once you get your four beats, then, or four parts of your story, then I think you can also move over and start working on your drawing. Um, I usually recommend putting in the words first, just because it's heartbreaking to have to like destroy your nice drawing after you because you don't have enough room for the words. So
1 minute. And I'm gonna let the music do its thing when it comes. Justin Bieber, that's who Lynn helped on his world tour. She toured with Justin Bieber and helped him get into his harness so he could like ride over the ride over the audience every night.
whoa, that's crazy.
30 seconds. Wow, this went fast. 7 seconds. You're gonna hear that music in a minute, y'all. I hope. I think.
It sounds like, I don't know, Jurassic Park or something. Okay. Like it's big and orchestral. All right. Um, Tom, do you still have um my phone image, my drawing image?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Okay.
spotlight.
So here you can see what I did. I decided that I wanted to go with this memory about riding on the scrambler and the effect of centrifugal force and like experiencing it for, you know, in reality on my body. Um, and so I was just sort of thinking about how I could tell this little vignette, right? And I've decided I was going to go on the ride with my brother, put him on the outside, and then show the whole ride, and then a close up of us in action of me like trying really hard to not squash my brother. It's just sort of a little thing. I don't know. It's not anything, earth shaking, but that's okay.
I like that ending. Sorry, it's centrifugal force.
All right, it's centrifugal force, right? And oftentimes, what I'll do when I'm planning out a comic like this is I can almost hear the words in my head. And over here, I did this in blue pencil. I actually put some words in here. I'm going to take you on my favorite ride because that's what big sisters do. So, because I was trying to figure out like how do I establish that this is a brother and sister, right? So that's what I was going to do. Okay, so now we're going to do 10 minutes to spend on drawings. That sound good, Tom?
It'll be tight, but I bet some people will be done by then, and then
Okay.
others.
And if you are done early and you want to jump on and share, you can absolutely do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I recommend that first go through and do a quick sketch of all four panels. If you start with just one panel, you might end up spending 10 minutes on one panel and then you don't, right? But if you do a quick pass of everything and then you don't have enough time to go back and finish it, like at least you captured the idea, then you can go back and finish it later, right?
Yeah, totally.
That's my experience. It's really easy to put way too much on in the beginning, and then you're like, how do I replicate it four more times, right? So keep it loose, keep it fast, and yeah, it's kind of like a race.
Oh
And
no.
uh, as soon as you are done, if you want to snap a picture and put it in the chat, after the 10 minutes, I'm happy for people to share their screens as well.
Yeah, and share. Yeah, that'll be great. Elise, will you do me a favor and raise your Zoom hand? Do you know where that is? It's sometimes under React and sometimes
Yeah,
under.
now I can do it easier now because I'm not showing the presentation. Let's
Oh
see.
yeah, okay.
React. I feel like they
Yeah, we go through
Uh,
this
uh,
every week. They change it, they move it. Nobody knows what it is.
yeah,
I don't know why.
it's raise hand. Okay,
Okay.
there we go.
So if you notice that it's going to automatically lower it, see if you can hit
Sorry.
cancel. All right, should I start the timer? 10 minutes?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, there it goes. It's on my screen. And so this will be quick.
Yeah. So, Tom, could you tell us like maybe when like 2 minutes are up?
Yep.
Because then I can say like let's try and
I need 2.5. That'll bring us to.
yeah, 2.5 is good because then we can say, have something in every panel by then,
Mhm.
right?
A good scrambler picture.
I have to, yeah, I've been practicing.
And we're at exactly our first 2.5 minutes.
Oh man, okay. So
No,
I
it's
I have
almost.
stuff on all of my panels, but it is not done. It's no way. Like I'm not even yeah. So
Mhm.
just keep on keeping on and try and get something in each one of those.
I'm realizing I don't even know what some of my friends look like. Lynn, I know what she looks like.
Doesn't you I mean for this I think you could really just do like a stick figure, right?
Sure.
Because it's the suggestion of your friend,
Oh,
right?
that's weird. Yeah, what does my friend? I just realized I've I'm one of those artists who has a really bad visual memory. It's a bad thing for an artist, but I just have to live
Mm.
with
Okay. So I've now pretty much filled in my comic and I feel like it's very rough, right? But essentially I've gotten the idea down, right? So that to me feels like the most urgent part where I'm sort of really trying to capture the idea before it like floats away. And like later I don't remember. And if I had more time, I might play around with like some of the page composition, but guess what? We're just
it.
it's quick and dirty, especially when you have a timer like this, you know. And I think one of the things that used to really get me caught with diary comics when I would do them regularly was like I really had a hard time being quick. So it
Mm,
just ended up taking a lot of time. And I don't know if I was just too much of a perfectionist.
5 minutes.
Um,
So we're at the halfway mark.
okay,
Five.
so now you should definitely have something in all of your panels. And if you want, you could start, just kind of fleshing it out. So I'm gonna, put some more detail here um, of this ride. And I really am envisioning this happening at night. I mean, I don't think it'll actually make a difference, but just in terms of like the thing that I'm imagining in my head, it's like nighttime and like the lights are are really sort of glowing. I don't know, it's probably too much to portray um in something like this. I just don't have enough material or whatever. In the second panel, I guess the second and the or the third and the fourth panel, I would really like to capture this sort of frantic movement of this ride and just sort of like how kind of relentless it is. But I don't think I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. Might be too much to ask. Also, like perspective of drawing like carnival rides, it's a challenge for sure. Okay. Um, when I used to do diary comics, I would always ink them just because I was like told that's what I should do. But in since I was doing that, I've really taken a turn and I pretty much always just work now in pencil. My favorite pencils are these Blackwing pencils. I just really like them. This isn't a great example, but it's the one I could find before we started. So usually I put in the lettering first for that reason that I said. Um,
2.5 minutes.
there we go. Okay.
Mm.
This is the speed round. I also realized I have a mechanical pencil. I should be using that for the lettering just because it's like a cleaner line. Tom, can you hear people screaming in the background here?
No, Zoom does really weird things with audio. And in fact, when you yourself personally, about half an hour ago, mimicked the sounds outside your window, we couldn't hear them either. It,
Oh,
yeah, it took those sounds out.
no
Um,
way.
yeah.
Well, I guess that's good. I don't know. But there
No,
is sort of a background of screaming.
no, I can't hear it at all. And
Yeah.
sometimes people come in, they'll say, "Oh, I'm so sorry for the barking of my dog" or something, but you
Oh,
can't
you
hear it.
can't hear that either?
No.
Well, that's good. It's annoying. I'm glad that it's just annoying for me. Okay, so I've done my lettering and now I am going to draw in my bubbles. These are very rough because that's what we have.
Hey, Elise.
Yeah.
Do me a favor, because we're about to hear the timer go down. Do me a
Okay.
favor and raise that Zoom hand of yours again.
Oh, okay.
Because what happens is it automatically lowers it. I hate it. I don't know. Oh, fast.
There it is.
We can have a minute, although we do have somebody ready, but we could
Oh
oh
boy.
well, two people ready. Should we just dig into the sharing after we take the
Yeah.
shares? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, lots of people are ready.
Hooray.
So
That's
show us yours
great.
really fast. I'm gonna take your
Okay.
right
So
now.
the good thing about this is because I did the lettering, obviously I didn't even get to do the penciling. I'm really out of practice on these things, but like you can kind of read it even though I'm like not done, right? And I've captured the idea here. I just have to go in and do the drawings, right? Which for me that's the sort of pleasurable part, which feels less stressful, but I know that's not true for everyone. So here I am with my brother. I say I'm going to take you on my favorite ride because that's what big sisters do. And it's a scrambler here. It's better to be on the outside. And this is the guy, putting the safety bar on, and it says click. And it says, here we go. And then he says, stop squishing me. And I say, sorry, it's centrifugal force. And I think I've captured it pretty much. Those faces, like I like this, like, face. So,
Awesome. All right, I'm just putting a couple things in the chat about sharing in case we go long. Let me see if if I have the right things here.
oh, it lowered my hand again, but I guess that's okay now, right?
No, can you
It's
raise it again?
it says you lowered your hand because you haven't spoken in 2 minutes. But
Try it
I've
again.
just been speaking.
I don't know. It's awful. Try
Oh,
and raise it.
yeah, it might be from because I'm muted on my phone. That's why.
No, but well, whatever. I don't know. All right. We're gonna go to Gail, Alan, Walter, Joanne. Look at all the people lined up who want to share. So let,
Oh boy.
let's do it. And yeah, and if you could keep your hand raised, at least that would be awesome. But here's Gail.
Hi, Gail.
Hi, Elise. This was really fun. Thank you for this.
Yay.
I drew a comic.
Oh,
I drew a comic about Founders Day at my college, 1987, with myself and Carol, my best friend. And we're on the Wheel of Wonders, the Ferris wheel, and we got stuck at the top. And I say, "Oh no, I hate this. We're stuck at the top." And Carol said, "We're not stuck. They're just starting to let people off." So then I realized it was going to be like we were going to be going very slowly around the circle as they let people off, which was like the worst nightmare I could imagine. Oh God, it's going to take forever. Oh God, oh God, oh God. We need to distract you. How can I distract you? I'll teach you. I know. I'll teach you the words to Born to Run.
like a vision, she dances across the porch as the
As the
radio plays.
radio plays.
I don't know. I don't even know the words. That's so
Why
cool.
Orbison singing for the lonely. Hey, that's me, and I want you only. I still remember the words.
Of course.
So this was
That's
fun.
great. I love how you start and we're like already on the ride. We're already like at the top.
Yeah, that's the
That's
scary
really
part.
wonderful. Like you're dropping us in. And what a fun memory. I love it.
Thank you.
That's so cool.
Awesome. We'll go to Alan next. All right. Let's see. Has to unmute.
Sorry, I unmuted and then accidentally muted myself again. Okay.
There you go. You're home again, Alan. Nice to see you.
So
I
I did mine on the computer again, if I could share a screen.
Yeah, you should be able to. Let me see if I
So
made.
I couldn't actually didn't actually have memories of carnivals 'cause I don't know that I've been to any carnivals except one like 30 years ago in Spain. Under circumstances, yeah, long story. But anyway, it's the only carnival I could remember going to, and I didn't have that many good stories. I didn't even get to go on any rides or anything like that. I do remember there was constant this loud announcement in the background constantly. Oh, que guay, un bici, mountain bike. Just like, oh, how cool, a mountain bike. Just, well, okay, I guess they were giving away a mountain bike somewhere. I still don't know where that was coming from, but it was repeated over and over very loud. Why is that so loud? And then churros, Churros. Oh, what the hey? I'll get a churro. Spanish churro. Very different from what they call churros in America. Dipped in chocolate, no cinnamon. I feel bad that I actually like American churros better. Oh, que guay. Un bici mountain bike. They really want. Okay, so
That's
that's the most
great.
memory I had. So I don't know.
That's great. I love that. And it's really focusing on this carnival food that's very specific, right? And I love how you're sort of instructing us about, about how it's different because I think a lot of people wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
Who knew that they had them without cinnamon? Um, and I think you can absolutely make a story about a carnival without, necessarily having a memory of going on the rides. Like you could even, this totally makes sense. It was a little scrap of a memory, even though you don't really remember going on rides.
Awesome,
So
Alan.
that's great. And you were so speedy digitally. I would be unable to do that. So compliments.
All right, we'll go to Walter next. Thanks, Alan.
Hi,
Hello,
Walter.
hi, Elise. Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Here, you can read I'll read me, and you can read the
Okay.
lady counter. So it's corn on the cob counter. One, please. In the butter, dunk, sploosh.
Here you go. If you need more butter, there's some on the counter. I love the the emanada there. I almost feel like you could be like falling backwards with your corn, going
I
plop,
almost did of the faint, but
plop.
I decided not to. I kept it a little bit more real, but that's a true story.
That's great. Oh yeah. What a sense memory, right? Oh, like that gloopy gloppy butter. You need
Yeah.
some more butter on that. That's great. I love it.
Awesome.
Take
Thanks,
care.
Walter. We'll go to
Thanks.
Joanne next.
Yvonne says, "Can we share a pic of our work in the chat?" And then Tom, you say no, can't
I've
do
never
that.
been able to get that setting to work.
Okay, okay.
I'll deal with it in the
I
chat. Yeah.
mean, you're welcome to try, and if you can't, you can post it on Instagram, right? And
Oh yeah.
tag Friday Night Comics.
Yeah, all that
Okay,
information's in the chat right there. Mhm.
Joanne.
Cotton candy. So I remember just the first frame where just watching them spinning it was just mesmerizing. And then it just felt like humongous when I received it. And then I just remembered the just licking it and it dissolving on my tongue. And then just I did a little better drawing on the last frame, which was like really
Oh.
being sad. So and like, chewing on the cardboard cone to get every little, yeah.
That's so expressive. I love it. The drawings are so, yeah, especially that one with the tongue and the big, like that feeling of it dissolving on your tongue, right? Like it's this huge thing and then it sort of melts, right? Like, oh, I
Yeah.
just noticed now it says heaven. That's so great. I also really love the sort of like the perspective, right? Like in the beginning, like you're a very small child, especially next to the cotton candy, right? Which is like enormous. It's like as tall as you, right? And
Yeah.
then, you sort of grow bigger as it's like this close up. And then I particularly like that last one, both of the versions of the last one that you did, where the
Yeah.
cone is so giant. So it is like a life-size cotton candy, right? Which is such a feeling, a childhood feeling, right? Of like, I've got this giant thing and it's as big as me, right? That's really lovely.
Yeah.
Nice
Thank
job,
Awesome,
Joanne.
awesome,
Thanks for
Joanne. Thanks.
sharing.
All right, we'll go to Jackie, then Nicole, then Eli. Here we go.
Hello. Hi, Jackie.
Hi. So
How
I'm
are
just
you?
thinking, the one as big as me, who's as big as me. This is a little detailed. I just it's called Carnival at Night, and it's one of my favorite carnival memories. Is from 2010. Ellie's my daughter. Ellie and I were staying with Mom and Ken, and this nearby state fair was having $1 ride at night special. Ellie wasn't afraid to go on rides, and my mom was still healthy. We went on the Ferris wheel and had unlimited snacks. Um, I
Personally,
really hate carnival rides, so I thought my mom was going to go on the swings with my daughter. Nope, mom pushed me onto the swing, and immediately it took off. And I got me, and I was yelling, "This is how I'm going to die!" And went on the tilt-a-whirl with Ellie, and even though he had run on tilt-a-whirl with Ellie despite his bad back, I won a purple fish stuffy in a game for her. We still have it. Its name is Lips. We had such a good time. It was so special to me. And then,
Oh.
like talking to the carny, like, I want the purple one, please.
Mhm.
And then when we got back to, this is a little bummer of an ending, but we got back to Chicago, I found a library book called Carnival at Night. I was so excited for Ellie to remember, but she didn't care, sadly. Yeah. No,
How old
yeah.
was she?
She was, that's a good question. 2010, she was probably, maybe it was 2012. I don't know, about 8 or
Okay.
so. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But
Because I
she
could see
also
my
has
daughter doing that
autism.
now. She's 11. She'd be like,
But she also has autism, so it's like it's just a little. I always get excited, like, remember when that really cool thing happened? And she's like, over it, like,
yeah, touch and go.
she's very in the moment.
Yeah. You fit so much in here. I feel like this could be a mini comic. Like you could expand each one of these into like a little sequence and have it be like a whole mini comic about this experience. Like that first one, there's just so much detail that you captured, right? And it really is these four very different moments. You know, like that you could really expand them and spread them out if you wanted to. I love that drawing on the second page on the second panel. It's just these like
Yeah.
two figures of like one being like die and the other one being just like in bliss, right?
Yeah, she was like,
And
yeah, and
yeah.
I was also trying to not turn and look at her and make sure that she was
Yes.
not like falling out of the swing, but we were
Yeah. I think
uh,
that one and then the one below it where she's like turning away and you're like excited with the book. It's they're so evocative. It's really
oh,
lovely.
thank you.
I hope that you run with this.
Oh,
Nice
cool.
job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie.
If you want.
Hey, we'll go to Nicole next, then Eli, then Judith, and Chris.
This is
Hi,
so great.
Nicole.
Thank you so much for coordinating this. I also, carnivals freak me out. So, and that's not
Hi,
just
Nicole.
past tense. Hi.
Hi.
So I did one and I said carnivals scared me growing up. I don't remember what I said. They were so feral, so out of control. Even the adults working there weren't really adults. And then I had like a kid saying like, "Hey, mister, does this seatbelt work?" And the guy's like shrug, It sort of felt like that was like always the faith. And then I have sort of the funhouse mirrors, and I said maybe it felt a little too close to home.
That's so good.
Thank you. This
I
was awesome.
love that. I love that. It really is like, yeah, like defining what you don't like about it, right? Like it really so evocative. And I love that funhouse mirror ending.
Awesome.
That's a really nice conclusion.
Thanks, Nicole. Okay, we'll go to Eli and then Judith.
Hi.
Hi, Eli. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
One of my favorite activities when I was younger was going to the fair, and I can't even read this; it's so small. When I was younger, I loved the zipper, and I would ride it over and over again. I knew this was going to happen. It was my turn. My dog is here.
We can't hear it.
And I don't know if you know about the zipper, but it's like a central thing, and then it's got all these little cars around it, and the cars sort of rotate around the central. I can't point around the central thing, and then the cars spin, and then eventually the whole thing rotates, so it like twirls you in like 3 different ways. I love it. And then when I was older, I was very mature, and I was in my late 20s. My friends and I had been out drinking the night before, and we decided the next day to go to the Florida State Fair. And I decided that what I really needed was some grease and some salt. For my hangover, so I had some fried catfish and the hair of the dog beer. before we went on the zipper.
Oh no.
And so let's see if I
Oh,
can. Um, so at the
whoa.
time, at the time I was really into this. I had this little camera that I carried everywhere and was annoying everyone, was taking pictures all the time. And I was like, I'm gonna get a picture of us right as like the ride starts. And so I sat down and I took the camera out of my pocket, and was telling my friend to say cheese, and I didn't really get to finish because the ride started and I hadn't strapped myself in yet. And so
Oh.
I spent the whole entire ride literally just like bouncing around inside that cage, like screaming and trying to hold on. And my friend was just like laughing and laughing. Ah, ha, ha, so funny. I thought I was going to die. And then when I got off of the ride, I just felt like I had never felt such a intense like pressure in my head before. Like I thought I was going to die. And so I made my friend drive me very, very slowly home and not hit any bumps, please. I made everyone go home because I was so sick. And then I threw up out of the window. And that was,
Can you hold it? Can you hold the bottom panels like a little closer so we can see?
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Look at that one, the bottom of the I love that third
Oh,
panel.
wow.
And then
Yeah.
the wobbly drawing.
My friend doesn't look like a monster. I was just the ink soaked into the watercolor. She looks like a
Sometimes it happens. It's
yeah.
okay. I think yeah, how great. And I love the use of the watercolor too.
Thanks. This was
That's
really
great.
fun.
Yeah.
Sorry
I
about the
I
dog.
love the zipper was as soon as you showed the first panel, I knew what it was.
Yeah.
My husband calls them the squirrel cages.
Oh my
I
God.
don't think I can ride it. It's just too
No,
much.
I don't want to ride it.
Yeah. Thank you
Um,
so much.
Thanks, Eli.
Awesome.
Elise will probably go a little long. Are you okay with that?
It's okay.
All right. And we'll try and get everybody in. Judith is next, and then Chris.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Uh,
Judith.
so I grew up in New Jersey, and Palisades Amusement Park was the big thing. And then I had cousins in Asbury Park. So there were basically these kinds of things, not exactly a carnival, but so it was always a great deal to go. So I remember the excitement of driving. And one of the things that is valuable about this particular prompt, this image of the father driving and the mom and me and my brother in the back seat features prominently in something that I'm working on where it's a really awful time. And so I'm really happy to have the same configuration when it's a good time. And then
I remember
obviously,
that drawing, Judith.
yeah, it's
Oh,
kind of
yep.
iconic for me. Anyway,
Yeah.
and then there's the carousel going up and down, which was great. And then the Tunnel of Love, which I always wished I would have the opportunity to be with a boyfriend in, but it never quite happened. And then as a grown up, I had a stopover, a 24-hour stopover in Copenhagen, and we went to Tivoli Gardens. And I got stoned and I went on the teacups and got so sick I almost puked. And it's interesting, people are saying I'm dying. I remember getting off and crawling away and saying, "Oh my God, I almost died." So there you go. It's very
That's
messy, and I
great.
appreciate not having to worry about that once in a while, right? Very messy. So that's good.
These
Thank you.
those could almost be four different comics,
Well,
like when you have the different incidents. That's cool. I
right,
like it.
right.
You have so much material to work with. That's
Thank
really
you.
great. I've
Right.
been to Tivoli Gardens too, and I thought about telling that story another time.
Well, the thing I remember is that it was a different country with a different language, and it was exactly the same as Asbury Park, actually. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? The vibe was
Uh-huh.
the same. So I
Yep.
thought that was interesting.
Awesome. Thanks,
Cool.
Judith. We'll
Thanks for sharing.
go to Chris next.
Thanks.
Hey, Chris.
Hi. When I was a kid, I lived in Los Angeles in Sunland, Tujunga, and the carnival. I lived down the street from a park, and the carnival would come once a year to this park, and I totally loved it. It was fun to go to the carnival. But then I don't know who, some adult told me that they didn't trust carnival workers because they were transient druggies, and I was just like, this
Oh,
is like
yeah.
early 70s, and I didn't know what that meant really, and I never thought about it. But then I thought, yeah, where do carnivals come from? And they have to load them up on trucks, and they have to assemble all the rides every day and all that. So now I didn't know what to think, but I still like carnivals. But when I'm at a carnival, I'm always looking to see if all the pieces are put together right.
Yeah, I
So
mean they could fall apart for sure. That's great. I see the echo of that Carney from somebody else, right? Like that's
Yeah.
not like you're not the only one with that image. That's
Anyway, thanks.
great.
It was cool.
Thank you for
Thanks.
sharing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. All right, Carol and Libby, amazing. Look at this.
Oh, a twofer.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen.
Oh,
So
I have
is
this
that
change up
okay?
setting. Yeah, hang on, Carol. There you go.
Okay, let's just get this open. And there it is. Can you see that yet? No, I haven't shared
No.
screen. There it is. Come on, there we
There
are.
you go.
Okay,
Yeah. Look at that.
so that's my friend from 7th grade saying, Carol, let's ride that. And we get on and we're having a blast. And then all I remember is that I remember there was a field. It was in a field and there were dandelions that you can wish on. And I wished it would go on forever.
Oh.
I want you to put that text in there that
What?
you're using
Yeah.
you wish that it would go on forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like there's room for it there in the corner.
it is.
It
Yeah,
could be a thought balloon.
yeah, you're right. I did. I was so wistful. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Does
Yeah,
Libby have one too?
I do.
Yes.
Here we go.
So I'm not going to read it. Whoops, really, except for Elise, I borrowed your phrase because, yep, that's was my experience. Grinding anxiety,
Anxiety.
too little money, too dizzy, too loud, too scary teenagers.
Great. I love how it's like I love those flashes. There and it's you know, you don't even need panels because you've got these little explosions with the
Yeah.
anxiety
Yeah,
insiders.
thank you for the memory machine, and that was really
Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
So great. Thanks, you two. I'm so glad you're together. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah.
cool.
All right,
Thank
we're gonna go to
Yeah.
I think we're gonna go to Nikki when Nikki's ready. Nikki, there you are.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Oh, good, it's in focus, finally. Okay,
Whoa.
you'll notice some different wording because in New Zealand we call things differently than you do in the States. So I've written the carnival came to town once a year in the heat of summer just for a couple of days, and that's clown toss. Lots of rides and sideshows and endless streams of noisy yelling people. And you only got this at the fair. Small tables where hot strands of sugar were magically transformed into pink candy floss that dissolved on your tongue. And they also sold those bags of candy floss, and they were always stale and horrible. So you just had to hope that the proper candy floss was there. And once they were gone, the fields were strewn with rubbish.
That's great.
Really doing that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that the cotton candy machine is so distinct. I immediately know what that is.
Yeah.
What do you call it in New Zealand?
Candy floss.
Candy floss. Wonderful. I love your colored background too. That's so fun.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Carnivalesque.
Awesome. Thanks.
Great.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Nikki. We'll see you. So we got Christian and then Sean and then
Hello.
Sarah. That'll be our last.
Hold up. I got just this. What kind of things I feel? I just feel like a roller coaster. I always remember the roller coaster.
Huh?
They always gives me headaches. It gives me excitement, but can also gives me headaches.
What's that last panel, Christian? Is it? Yeah. All right.
It's roller coasters. Six Flags.
It's sort of like from the top a little bit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There's also another one. I think I remember. Hey, dude, Hey, dude, do we throw like a ball into the bottle or something in a Coney Island?
Yeah,
We did.
the rings.
Oh, the ring.
Yeah, ring toss.
Yeah. I think I
Awesome.
Cool.
toy, right?
I don't remember.
I remember I earned a toy. It was a purple one.
Awesome, Christian. Thanks. Hope you
Thanks
make
for
it out there this
sharing.
summer.
Welcome.
All right, we've got a show next, Sarah. Oh, and look, Jamie Scandal's here, and then we'll finish up with Jamie. Sean, are you there?
Yep, I'm there.
All right, need you to there you go. Oops.
Oh yeah. All right. So as a young person, I go to the carnival, and the one ride I love to ride on is the Starship 2000. It's the UFO ride. So my young yourself goes entering. My young yourself goes, I must ride my favorite ride first because it is my favorite ride. And then I enter it, and there comes a guy dressing as an alien going, "Welcome, Earthling, get in your spot." And then there's me going, "Let's pretend to go to Mars for 2 minutes."
What happens on the ride? I want to know.
So it basically that ride, you're standing in this one spot, and it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, like you're in this spaceship that's gliding around for like 2 minutes, and it can go really fast. That's
Cool.
why like I indicated the circle, the speed, because it like goes really fast, like an actual spaceship.
That's so cool. I love your use of color too. Those two colors.
Yep.
So evocative. Really nice.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, we'll go to Sarah next. Sarah K. Once Sarah's ready. Then we'll go to Jamie. Let's see if Sarah's there. Sarah K, you there? Or maybe Sarah K is not there. Wait. There we go. Oh, we can't hear you.
Muted.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Sarah. Is there something on your settings, perhaps?
Okay, my mic was turned off.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
But I unmuted and then I went, I can't be unmuted while someone else is talking. But I'm here now. Anyway, I was thinking about fair food, and do any of y'all know the like old kids song, Froggy went in courting on a summer's day?
Yep.
I was thinking, and I was like, fried mosquitoes could be a fair food. And so I made this.
Oh.
Asking for mosquitoes. That's really cute. It's Miss Mousy.
Yeah.
Wow. Waggy went a court.
What cute characters. They're adorable. Are they riding on the Ferris wheel at the end?
Yeah.
Nice.
Cute. Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you. This was fun.
Cool. Thanks.
All right. And I lost Jamie.
Oh shit.
What happened to Jamie? You got to keep that hand up.
Oh God.
Oh, here you are. Hang on.
Hi. Oh my God, it's been 7,000 years. Okay.
You know,
Well,
Jamie, and sometimes we would close with you and we haven't seen you in so long, but you are a closer tonight. But you gotta give us a better foreground thing.
oh God, get that off of there, right? Okay. Oh my God, here we go again. We thought that it would be better, and no. How do you get the background off? Shit. You can't see the of course. Oh my God, Tom. Maybe I should just throw in the towel and share it on Instagram.
No. You've done this before.
I've really tried. Okay, hold on here. Captions record more. It's in more, right? Background.
No,
Get the background off. None. No background.
Oh,
Okay, here we go.
You did it.
We're doing it. Doing it well. Okay. So here we go. We have, get this out of here. Get this stupid. Oh my God, I can't see what I'm doing. Okay. Cancel. Okay. Let's just try it. So I'm at the June Fete in Pennsylvania. Okay. I can't really see what I'm doing, but I remember being there, and my brother's eating cotton candy, and I want to go on the swing thing, but I don't know what it's called. And I'm like, I want to go on it. Mom says, no, you can't go on the Caterpillar ride. It's safer. So I don't want to do that. So I go, we got to go on that dumb thing. And then we get on it, and it's pretty fun. I'm like, oh, cool. And I remember I had a crush on the guy that was running it. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to look awesome on this thing. Look how cool I look. I'm smiling. It's smiling suddenly. And then he stops it and reverses it. And it was like, ugh! And then my tooth bashed on the bar, and I broke part of the tooth. And so my consolation prize was this lemon. They would give you this lemon Slurpee thing with a whatchamacallit, a candy cane in it. And it burned my mouth, but it was all that I had, because that was what the June Fete was like famous for. So there's me with my broken bloody tooth and my like lemon sucky thing. And I'm like, I love the carnival, even though, yeah, right, I don't really love it. But this is so fun. Thank you for having us and having me
That's
again.
so great.
Great
The
to be back.
faces, there's your face, like in every one, is so, it's just priceless. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks.
All right,
Yep.
I'm gonna spotlight Elise again. Elise, thank you.
Hi.
I'm gonna put in the chat one more time for everybody. Please, share on Instagram or social media, share on upload to the PDFs. It's all there. And let me make sure that, oh yeah, Elise's information's in the chat. Thanks. Thanks so much.
Yeah. I
So
think I
good.
pulled it off.
It's the long nights of summer are upon us, except for Nikki, who's in winter right now. But yeah, I love hearing all these stories. I love that Jamie was the only one who wasn't like, stay away from the carny. She was like, oh, I like the carny. I have a
I
crush
used to
on
have
the
a crush.
carny.
I used to have a crush on a carny too. I remember that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're cute sometimes.
They're
So
certainly mysterious.
Yes.
they're mysterious. This was really
Exotic.
fun. All right. Well, so what are you working on these days? You're working on Kill Your Idols, and you'll be
Yeah,
at
I just finished this residency. I did this writer's residency in my town that was at a historic mansion. And so it kind of threw me off of my schedule on my other stuff. Like I had to kind of pause everything and work on that. And so I've like fleshed out this comic that's about like local history. But I'm about to put that back on the
cool.
on the shelf, and I'll take down Kill Your Idols because I have like, I don't know, I have like 18 pages sketched and I need to just get to 24 and then I need to send it to people. Hopefully I can finish it soon. The life has been so nuts, and the transitions are challenging to move from one project to another. But it'll happen.
And we'll see you
At
at
some point.
SPX, right?
Yes, I will be at SPX. I was about to get my plane ticket. And I'm not really planning to do a lot of other events this year, I don't think, because they take a lot out of me, and
yeah,
things are busy. So anyway,
awesome. Well, thanks
thanks
for coming.
everybody.
I'm going to
I'm
ask
glad.
everyone to unmute and give you a round of applause. We really
Hi.
appreciate it. Good night, everybody. Yes, there will be one on July 4th. We are going to do this on July 4th.
Thank you. That was great.
Bye.
Thank you so much. It was awesome.
Thank you. So much fun.
Thank you.
Yay.
Super fun.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good
Thanks.
night. Thanks, Elise.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Very good night.